Hi, this is a message from any of my guides to you. Anybody who matches my frequency, anybody who is in need of a ear to listen or a shoulder to cry on as best as I can. Some of you have reached this new point, right? You have started to really awaken these new abilities. You have started to, give me one second. You have started to awaken these new abilities. You have started to experience these new intuitions, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you started to experience this a new ability. You are more connected. You are getting closer to a return. I was hearing, I heard solar return, so maybe it's something that really truly activates around your next birthday. What are you doing, bugs? You are divinely protected, not just by angels, but by loved ones, by even consciousnesses of people that are still currently here with you. Their energy and their love for you is so strong that you are protected. You will be guided and you will be fated. I'm not entirely sure what is meant by that, but maybe it's that your destiny isn't going to slip away. Like you're doing what you need to do. Every time I have looked at my clock, like at the numbers on my phone, it has been some sort of division of 2. So and the card that I pull is the Karmic Trench, number 4. The 4 of Scrolls. So for every give, there is a take, right? And I looked up and it said 246. For every give, there is a take. For every life, there is a death. For every death, there is a life, right? There is always a mirror of what has happened and a mirror of what is to come, right? That's something that can't be avoided. That's all I'm going to say about that. If you know, you know. Leave it at that. We're going to pull from the Oracle deck. My grandmother specifically wants you to know and to remember that there's always light after the darkness, right? This is a beautiful card. This is the Dawn card. It's got a beautiful owl on it. And it's beautiful. It's kind of hard to tell, but that's actually kind of like, not necessarily a shoreline, but I guess like a creek, right? Or a creek bed. Those are all rocks. And that's, what is that actually? Huh. That's interesting. It looks like there's a fire off in the distance. Like they've escaped something, like they've come out of something. But my grandmother does want you to know that there is always something bright. One thing, this is something that I'm more than comfortable with sharing because majority of those that are close to me and my family already know this. The night that before my grandmother died, I was spending the night at my friend April's house, and I had this dream. I don't really remember much, but I do remember seeing my grandmother, and I didn't see her as this frail, cancer-ridden body that she was. It was more of like I saw her at one point when she was young, about in her early 20s maybe. Actually, maybe more of like 19, 20-ish. She still had really long, she had like a Jackie Kennedy haircut going on there. And she was on these clouds, and it was really, really beautiful, like so beautiful. I remember seeing her, and I remember crying and being so upset and devastated. You know, I mean, I knew it was time. I knew it was happening. And she just told me, she said, Felicia, it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. You need to tell everyone that I'm okay. It's okay. And I wake up, got a few tears in my eyes, and April's mom, Miss Jill, she comes into the bedroom. It's about 6 in the morning, maybe 5:30, and she says, Felicia, it's time to go. Your dad's coming. And sure enough, my dad had woken my little sister up, and he was coming to get me from my best friend's house at 5 o'clock in the morning so we could go drive to my grandfather's house to go be with my mom because my grandmother had passed away. It was traumatic in the sense that I knew it was happening and I knew there was nothing I could do to fix it. It was traumatic in the sense that I knew deep down she was okay, but I, at the time, was so selfish. I wanted her here. I didn't want her anywhere else. And one thing that she has continued to do to this day is make sure I know that everything's okay. And that regardless of what happens, everything's going to be okay. And it's because of her that I'm able to sit here after years of trauma that I have experienced in my life and smile and be happy and be glad and be married to this amazing man and live in this beautiful house with my amazing fur babies and hopefully eventually future children. You just have to remember that just because everything seems dark now, there's light somewhere. You can't have darkness without light. You cannot know one without the other. Sometimes you just have to figure out how to light your own, right? We have control and Skull of Light, Illumination, which is a beautiful card. It's gorgeous. Makes me think of like an eclipse almost. But the zombie and Skull of Light. So illumination and control, what does that mean? That means to understand that there are certain things that you cannot do in this life, that there are certain things that you cannot control, certain avenues that are out of your way, right? Life is not fair. That is the sad truth of it all. It is not fair. Again, we have illumination, but sometimes you have to be your own lights. You have to be optimistic, because if you don't, not only do you tear your soul down, but you tear your body down, and then you tear the people around you down. If you are so pessimistic, nobody wants to be around you, right? Think about Scrooge. Think about the story, think about Scrooge, right? Nobody wanted to be around him because he was so angry and so bitter. But the moment he started being happy and he saw the light in things was when people realized how amazing he is, because he finally lit that fire within his heart, which shone how beautiful and different and imperfectly perfect he was, because he was the way God made him. And that is exactly what our entire lives is about, is acknowledging who you are for who you are. Because you are perfectly imperfect just the way God made you, regardless of what you look like, where you've been, what you've experienced, who you're friends with, who you know, how much money you have. The people around you, your family, the people who, not necessarily, and I don't mean blood family, I mean family who you love, who you care, who you would die for. Those those people see you for who you are, and you're usually the one to help them become somebody else and to help them see themselves for who they are when they're down. They just want to do the same thing for you. Let them do the same thing for you. Lean on them. You are so strong for them. Let them take you. Let them lift you up. Let them be there for you. Let them be your strength. Okay? Let them be your backbone. Death, the eternal cycle, begins here. Now is the time to start anew. Now is the time to explore these new avenues that are coming to you, because you've given yourself a chance to rest. You've given yourself the time to trust in your family, to trust in your friends, and to trust that they will lead you in the right direction. And again, we have control. Because remember, you cannot always control what happens, but you can control what you do about it, how you feel, and where you go from there. Okay? I'm going to say that's probably the last thing, except we're back on the hidden talents card, which is remembering your abilities, remembering what makes you special, what makes you shine. Oh, so beautiful, guys. So beautiful. That is what my family wants you to know. That is what our guides want you to know. Just take the time to lean on your family. Take the time to let them take care of you so you can explore every inch of your soul in your being, so that way you can shine as beautifully and as brightly as you truly are. Okay? Okay. So that was beautiful, guys. Anywho, I love you. I hope you enjoyed that. My grandma bids adieu. I feel the need to pull one more card. The chess game. Listen, it's okay if you think you've completed, regardless of what you're going to do, even if your soul's not completely ready to go home, if you feel like you've completed it, at this current moment, you've completed it. It's up to you and God whether or not you decide to enter into a new contract or not, okay? So don't worry about that, if that's what some of you are worried about, because that's what I feel like that one was about. Some of you are worried that you think you're ready, but you're really not, and what's going to happen, and none of that matters right now. What matters is where you are right now. Who are you with? Are you happy? Do you get to experience joy and love and sorrow and grief? Have you experienced anger and rage? Do you know what it means to have compassion or empathy? Have you truly, truly experienced life? Okay? That's what matters. Be true to yourself. Be honest. Anywho, I could go on all day about that. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoy. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And remember, I love you, God loves you, and your spirit guides and your ancestors love you.